Today, I have 3 red wines ready for you, and they are all $30 and under. They're going to be perfect pair for your next Christmas or New Year's Eve or New Year's Day party that you have planned. And I think they're gonna go really well with almost any main dish that you're thinking of, whether it's chicken, pork, beef, or even lamb. And I'm gonna do a blind tasting and tell you the tasting notes and see which one you like personally the most. I tried to find all these wines at relatively easy to find stores such as Costco or Total Wine, which are pretty abundant throughout the United States. So I'm hoping you can grab a bottle and enjoy it just as much as I did. So enough with the chit chat. Let's begin with the intro, shall we? I got my notebook and the wines. Let's do some blind tasting, shall we? So I have my 3 wines here. They're labeled on the base right here: black, orange, and white, and wine A, B, and C. So you know which one I'm tasting. I'll also have a little graphics right here so you know which I'm going for. And then we're gonna start with wine A, shall we? Wine A, it's medium ruby red. I can see the text through the wine, but the color is very, very lovely. There's some separation towards the rim. I think it's a sign of some aging going. And then on the nose, I get really lovely floral characteristics, black cherry, cherry notes, earthy leather tone, but also I get the little subdued breathless character, which in my opinion, I think it needs a little bit more time in the glass. It's been sitting here for about a good 15 minutes, but I think more time wouldn't hurt this particular wine. But still, lovely on the nose, like it a lot. Moving on to wine B, the orange. Wine B, I get lovely medium ruby red color, slightly more see-through. I get lots of cherry, vanilla on the background, and I get initially this lovely floral eucalyptus, violet, rosy characteristics right away, and then some herbs and some earth tone in the background, and about medium in intensity. I love the smell on it. This is really good. I feel like I'm smelling like a rose garden right here. This is really, really attractive one on the nose. All right, moving on to wine C. Wine C, I get medium plus practically deep ruby red color. I can barely see the texture of the wine. And on the nose, I get medium intensity of vanilla, chocolate right away, and lots of black fruits like black currants, black licorice. And on the background, I get just a touch of earthy and tobacco notes. This is also pretty on the nose, just like the last one. So today, all the 3 wines we're having, there's no bad wine here. That's always a good sign. And let's go back to wine A, let's taste them and see which one I like the best, shall we? All right, moving back to wine A. Nice. Wine A, it's medium acidity, tannins, and about medium plus in the finish. And on the palate, I get lots of black currants, black cherry, some cherries, earth, leather, tobacco, and there's that underlying herby characteristics that like rosemary, or it's very appealing. There's that just touch of herbs in the back of my tongue, and that's very, very appealing of this wine. Moving on to wine B. Let's see. Wine B is medium plus on acidity, medium minus on tannins, about medium on the finish. And I get initially that right away, that mineral iron characteristics, which is very, very appealing. And after that, just bombed with cherry, berries, red fruits right away, raspberry. And it finishes with floral, rose, violet, herb, earthy characters. This is very nice wine, especially for $30 as well. Very, very enjoyable. A lovely wine. Moving on to wine C. All the wines here we have today are great stuff, because there's no bad wine here today, and I'm loving it because of that reason. All right, moving on to palate for wine C. It is medium in acidity and tannins, medium plus on the finish. And then on the palate, I get that green pepper from probably, I'm guessing this is Cabernet Sauvignon, because I get that lot of pyrazine, green pepper, black currants, black fruits, black licorice characters, some chocolate, some vanilla, tobacco, and very in the background, just touch of like bay leaves, black tea, and spices notes. This is very, very well made. And if I were to guess, this is definitely New World, Napa Valley, Sonoma, I'm guessing. This is really, really good. And then wine B is, on the color alone, I thought this was Pinot, and then I'm keep thinking this is a Pinot Noir. And wine A, I thought this was like Cab as well, but I couldn't get to New World, so I'm gonna stick with like Bordeaux or even like Super Tuscan from Italy. There's no wine here that I wouldn't drink, so all great wines. I'm gonna ask my wife Jenna to bring some wines and see which wines are these, shall we? While we wait for Jenna to come in for the bottles of wine, I'm gonna talk some about food recommendation. And wine C out of all was the heaviest, and I felt like this will be perfect pairing with like beef or lamb. Whereas wine A, it's kind of like a little bit less in terms of how heavy it is. So I will still stick with like beef, but I think you can introduce with pork, like a pork chop, or even lamb as well. But if you're going with lamb, I think wine C is a little bit better for that in my opinion. And then wine B, it's relatively light. I can sip on this on its own as well. And I'll probably stick with this with like chicken, pasta, or even ham, pork. Some of the lighter version of the porks, not like the heavy grilled pork, but this will be perfect. Or even like a appetizer wine. I think this will be a very good decision for that. So overall, very great selection we have for depending on what kind of dish you're having for your holiday parties. So I think she's right over the corner, so let's get the wine, shall we? Orange. The middle one. Black. I got the wines. Let's reveal them and see which one's which, shall we? Moving on to wine A. I really liked wine A's that earthy herbal characteristics. I felt it had a little bit more soil characters, if you're into that stuff. Ba ba da ba. It is Chateau Lilian Laudi's Saint-Estèphe, Bordeaux, 2016. Couple more years in the cellar, this can turn into a whole different wine as well. So great underlying fruit, great quality, lovely wine, awesome stuff. I'll put it right here. All right, wine B. Ba ba ba. It is a Corey Lebon 2020 Louis Jadot Burgundy Pinot Noir. This is a lovely wine. I love that floral characteristics on the nose. I love that bright cherry right on the palate. People-pleasing wine. This will pair beautifully with pork or salads or salmon, tuna. Yeah, lovely. I love this a lot. Really good stuff. Wine C. I remember this being the very heavy in the vanilla and chocolate, but not as much as in the palate. And then it just showed that typical New World wine characteristics. So I hope this is New World. Shall we see it? All right, ba ba ba. It is Louis and Martini, Alexander Valley 2019 Cabernet Sauvignon. Very well made. Today, this three wines, it's been spectacular, especially for $30. I think the Bordeaux here, I think it was $26.99 at Total Wine. This one was $27.99 at Costco. This one right here is $29.97 at Total Wine as well. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and leave it down in the comments what you guys think of these wines and what you guys have planned for your special holiday night. I'll see you in the next video, hopefully with the white wine series. All right, bye-bye. Thank you.